If during the allocated question time the presenter allows verbal questions, select this button as it will highlight you to the facilitator and organizers. The second is the option to type in a question that will be seen by the facilitator and organizers. Due to potential mic problems amongst attendees, we usually default to the written questions. In this scenario, I will transfer any of your questions to a Word document that can be seen by all participants via the share screen function. Please feel free to send through written questions during the presentation. I shall keep track of them and display them during the question period. Thank you very much, and over to you, Nicole.
Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I was muted. Sorry about that. As you can see up on the screen, I've created a status update to welcome you all to our second session on the introduction to Facebook. So let me start off by saying that today's session will be quite theoretical. However, we will have our presentation up on our blog, just as we have had last week's. We've posted last week's session. However, we will also be handing out the slides at the end of the session. So, welcome to Facebook, your introduction. We're going to be looking at what is Facebook, what are the benefits of Facebook, and what is a Facebook profile, page, and a group. I think we're having some technical issues. So let me just show my status update again, where I'm welcoming everyone. And I've shared the link to our blog. And I invite you all to please ask questions or post a comment about the sessions on our blog. And also please feel free to share your Facebook success stories with us on the blog. So as I mentioned, we're going to be looking a little bit in depth at Facebook. So what is Facebook? What are the benefits of it? And what is the differences between a Facebook profile, page, and a group? And also a little bit of a closer look at the tabs, toolbars, and insights. So what is Facebook? Inga mentioned in her introduction that she's a little bit of a Facebook stalker, and I'm sure many of us are. I know I'm one of them. I'll say in a hushed tone. But Facebook is the largest online social networking site and currently has more than 1 billion users. Facebook allows people to interact, share photos, and find people. In addition to using Facebook for social purposes, many people use it professionally for business networking. So every day, more and more people are signing up onto Facebook and logging in. And what are they seeing? They're seeing ads, ads, ads. If you look on the right toolbar, right side panel of your Facebook page, you'll see ads. If you look within your status, within your newsfeed, you're going to see ads. So this begs the question, why are you not one of those ads? Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of how you can get yourself into these spaces. So, does it feel like everyone you know is on Facebook? I think some of the faces there may seem a little bit familiar to some of us. I'm not going to mention names. But as our world becomes more and more online, we realize our work cannot be isolated to our communities, but that we have an opportunity to address a much, much broader audience. Our friend Julius Malema, the advocate for all of us, our spokesperson, he's there. So we should be listening. We can be following him. Barack Obama has 44 million followers on Facebook. To us, this says that these people are active. Yes, we might think, he's the president of the USA. Why would he be active on Facebook? They have official profiles, but these are all part of their communications and their public relations strategies. So they are actually saying what they are saying on Facebook. Perhaps not Barack, but yeah, his PR people are doing the talking. And then, of course, we have the mindless chatter that irritates us so. And next week when we look at Twitter, we'll go a little bit more into that mindless chatter when we see all the tweets, you know, those things that make us say, not another tweet speaking about what they had for lunch. So as you can see, somebody's thought there, what's on the menu today? I think I'll have pizza. Or, hey, McDonald's, at Clearwater Shopping Mall, you forgot to upsize my meal. And then, of course, something like, hey, everyone, where's the party tonight? What is everyone doing? Why is everyone so quiet? What are we going to do? And then the people that use Facebook as an outlet for speaking about what they're thinking, what they're feeling. I'm so alone. I wish I were dead, feeling depressed. But this is, when people are speaking like this and when they're creating these kind of Facebook status updates, this is an opportunity for us to leverage on their thoughts, on what they are saying. For example, the person that is speaking about their depression, if your organization is one that speaks, that helps and assists people and that counsels people, surely you have an opportunity to address someone like this and contact them privately and say, hey, would you like to have a session where we can speak, where I can address you and I can speak to you and we can just have a counseling session? So perhaps we should not just think of these mindless chatters as something that is an irritation on our Facebook timelines and on our news feeds. And then, not to mention the selfie phenomenon that also irritates us. Yes, that's me, and me, and me. I'm not promoting myself, but if anyone is a model agency out there. But the point I'm trying to make about this is that things that we have all these phenomenons, and I'm going to call them phenomenons because they just grow every day. More and more, they've even introduced the selfie stick. So you are able to take these pictures yourself. I can tell you that all of these photographs were taken by a photographer because I, for one, am not a selfie person. However, the selfie phenomenon is growing. Big companies are using the selfie phenomenon as a way to create competition around a certain campaign. So people are saying things like, hey, post your selfie at our event, and if we think your selfie is the best, you'll win a prize. So it's about leveraging on the current trends that are out there and making use of them and working them into your campaigns. Okay, enough of me on the screen. But what does all of this mean to us? How can we leverage off all the chatter that is happening on Facebook all day, every day? Right. So let's look at some stats. Worldwide, there are over 950 million Facebook users. Why is this important for us to know? In case you had any lingering doubts, statistically, Facebook is too big to ignore. Any and every organization that you can possibly think of has a Facebook presence, whether it be as just a personal profile where one person from the organization has created a profile and is perhaps speaking or lobbying on behalf of the organization, or it could be that they have created a Facebook page or they have created a Facebook group. But many businesses are on Facebook. So it makes you wonder, why am I not there? Or if you are already there, how can I better use my Facebook? So 500 million people log onto Facebook daily, which represents a 48% increase from 2010 to 2011. This says to us that a huge and vastly growing number of Facebook users are active and consistent in their visits to the site, making them a promising audience for your marketing efforts. And by marketing efforts, I want us to think of it in terms of our digital campaign strategy that we're developing, and the reason why why we are participating in this webinars. So all of these things are going to tie into our digital campaigning efforts. And with the number of people that is signing up and joining Facebook daily, with this growing number, you need to be in this space. You need to make sure that you are attracting that growing audience. The age 25 to 34 at 29.7% of users is the most common age demographic. I mentioned in last week's session that youth is becoming a bigger and bigger audience to target when thinking of our advocacy work, because they are becoming so much more vocal. And with the rise of social media, this gives them even more of a platform to express themselves and to share their thoughts and their opinions. So we want to take into consideration the type of content that we are producing, the type of language that we are using, and the age group that we are addressing. So if we think in terms of the amount of the age group that is on Facebook, 25 to 34, what are their interests? So we need to do our homework and think about what are they doing, what are they looking at, what are their interests. Facebook users are 53% female and 47% male. This isn't too much of a large statistical difference, so you should be able to effectively reach both genders on Facebook. However, it does make a difference in terms of the type of work that we do. If we think in terms of the organizations working specifically in women's rights, we would want to attract a wider male audience to get them to pay attention and to also then be a mouthpiece for our organization. So we do not want to just disregard the fact that males account for a smaller number on Facebook. The highest traffic occurs midweek between 1 to 3 p.m. So how can this be of help to you? Since you have the potential to reach more consumers, more users, and drive higher traffic to your site during peak usage times, consider this statistic in determining when to do more frequent or important status updates and other posts. So be thoughtful and mindful of the type of content that you are producing and the type of content that you are creating and at what particular times you can be posting them. So as you can see there, it says that the highest traffic occurs between 1 to 3 p.m. Other research has shown that there's a higher volume of users checking their Facebook at 6 a.m. in the morning when they're just waking up. So you'd have to perhaps then consider scheduling your posts at 6 a.m. in the morning and again at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and so on. But it's about being strategic in what type of content you are pushing at what time. It's been found that on Thursdays and Fridays, engagement is 18% higher. If I think about myself, when I'm working, we often call it, well, not often, it's known as hump day. Wednesday is hump day. So once hump day is over, we start to slack because now we're entering weekend mode. And that also then means that I'm spending more time on my social networks because I'm asking the question, hey peeps, what's happening this weekend? And I'm making plans and I'm gathering my friends or family to make plans for the weekend. So think about the fact that engagement is 18% higher over this period, and you could be then pushing your content within this time, and of course it can be content that is attractive, appealing and exciting that would make people sit up straight and say, hey, maybe this is something I can be doing this weekend. Photo uploads total 300 million per day. Again, this is an indication of engaged users. It is an indication that there are a lot of photos as well as other information competing for users' attention. So target your efforts strategically. If you think about that selfie slide that I prepared at the beginning, there are millions and millions and millions of selfie pictures going up every single minute of the day. So if you are actually competing within this photo upload session constantly throughout the day. So when you upload a photo, make sure that it is worthwhile, make sure that it is meaningful, make sure that it is visually appealing, and that perhaps you would want to include some text to accompany it. Think in terms of infographic. Some people respond more to infographics instead of just a picture. So you need to think about your photo uploads as part of your strategy, your content strategy. The same goes for video uploading as well. People respond to visuals. So you can post photographs or you can post videos, and again, this speaks to the time of day that people are active. The average time spent per Facebook visit is 20 minutes. You could have a short time period to make your impression, so use it wisely with relevant, interesting, and unique posts and offers, if that's your cause, in order to get the most return on your efforts. 20 minutes is is a long time to be sitting and browsing on the internet. For some of us, we don't have the data, we don't have the money to spend doing so. So for those that are spending just a split second, which okay, in most cases is not the case, but for people who are just logging on very quickly, make sure that what they're seeing from your organization makes a difference, is relevant, is interesting, and it is unique to other posts that they will see within that 20-minute period. Every 60 seconds on Facebook, 510 comments are posted, 293 statuses are updated, and 136,000 photos are uploaded. Again, there are a lot of engaged and active users, but also a huge amount of information competing for their attention. So quality and strategy on your part is what matters. You are competing with so many other organizations, so many other organizations with the same interests and causes that you may have as an organization. So make sure that what you are pushing out is the one that's going to make the difference, is the one that's going to attract the attention, and that is going to get others to engage with you and be active users with you on this platform. 50% of 18 to 24-year-olds go onto Facebook when they wake up. I mentioned this earlier. So again, the first thing that we do when we open our eyes is pick up our phone, firstly switch off the alarm, and then we open our Facebook. So who says what for the day? What's the mood for the day? What's the news of the day? So so this is what this means for you is that Facebook is important to these users, and potentially, if done correctly, so is the content that you post. If you are posting at 6 o'clock in the morning, make sure it's a post that counts, that's going to get somebody to get up and make them want to engage with you again. It's all about engagement. It's all about starting a conversation and getting people to start talking back to you. So it's no longer this idea of you as the organization pushing content, but there's this push-pull. So everybody is actually engaged with one another, and there's active communication from both parties. 42% of marketers report that Facebook is critical or important to their business. This is a crowded marketplace, but you can't afford to sit it out, because odds are fairly high that your competition is out there. And we don't necessarily speak in terms of competition and business in our space, but we also want to make sure that we have a strong following of people that's active in the work that we do. We want to make sure that our message gets across as well. The key is to use Facebook marketing correctly and make sure that your efforts stand out from the crowd. Make sure that what you are doing is also making a difference. I know some of what I'm going to say throughout today's session may sound repetitive, but it is all about strategy. It's about your content. It is about engaging your users and making sure that you respond to them, so that there is this constant communication between you and your audiences. So knowing these statistics is important, as it gives us the indications of the direction our digital campaign can or will take, and the kind of content that we want to be producing. Benefits of Facebook? Well, as you see, barriers to entry are low. It's free, it's easy to do, it's a relatively safe space based on friendship and referral. Based on community, so it's built around a group made up of networks, and it successfully mirrors fabric and substructure of real-life communities. So there's this, again, this idea of immediate gratification, because updates are real-time. You're connecting in real-time with a chat application. So you are able to see what's happening with anyone at any given moment based on their status updates. If I just rewind back to the status where we had the bubbles of people's thoughts and what they're creating as their status updates. It's real time. It's what they're feeling right now. What am I doing right now? What am I thinking right now? So it's all based on the real time. You can start a chat with someone in the real time by just opening the little chat window in the bottom right-hand corner. It is customizable, so you can add the different applications that you feel that are applicable to you, and you can customize your page as you see fit. So again, this idea of it's about me, it's about my likes, my thoughts, the pictures that I'm sharing because it's my interests. Benefits for NGOs and for us in the civil society sector, it enables us to easily access huge numbers of constituents and potential constituents at very little or no cost. It's a platform for amplifying and broadcasting your message via personal relationships to a massive audience. So it is our soapbox. It is our opportunity to just stand up and speak up. Your Facebook strategy should not be so much about the organization as it is about the cause. So you build it into your digital campaign. You are speaking as an organization, but you are able to create your digital campaign specific to a specific cause. You develop and discuss a deliberate strategy. All of what we are doing throughout these sessions is about creating a deliberate strategy so that everything is seamless within our communication strategy. So as you can see there, remember, strategy requires maintenance, and we'll get into this maintenance at the end of our series. So Facebook allows your organization to be a hub of information or a clearinghouse for important and relevant information. So you are able to share important information, relevant information in real time at any given time. If you think about an important announcement about an event that you may be hosting on Saturday, but there's a time change, the best way to notify everyone is to make a status update informing everyone immediately, hey, there's a time change to our event. And you actually, again, looking at deliberate strategy, you actually can contact key influencers within your networks and ask them to please share your status so that other people will know, okay, let me share this information so that my network can know that this event has been postponed or there's been a time change rather. So it's all about this idea of real time. So with all of this information about Facebook and all of these statistics and the benefits of it and why and how and who and etc., what do? Do you create a profile, a page, or a group? So let's start off by looking at what is a profile, what is a page, and what is a group. A Facebook profile is meant to represent a single individual and is for non-commercial use. Made up of photos and experiences, a profile summarizes a person's story. On a profile, individuals can personalize their profile by uploading a profile photo, cover photo, and adding personal information like hometown, birthday, relationship status, and work history. Profile owners can post statuses, live events, and control what information is shared on their respective profiles. So there we have a look at my personal profile. As mentioned in the explanation above, a profile picture, a cover photo, my full name, my study history, my career history, well, very brief about it, where I live, my relationship status, oops, you can all see my age, but for all intents and purposes, I'm 24, and there are 71 people following me. So how do I sign up for Facebook? I'm going to just run through these steps, and for anyone that would like to have a personal session, please feel free to email me, and I would gladly take you through the steps and help you through this process. Time will just not allow for us to create a Facebook profile, so please feel free to contact me directly and I will help you to create a profile, a page, or a group. So yes, signing up for a profile is easy, and it's as easy as 5 steps. You go to facebook.com, fill in the required information, and click sign up. Facebook will send you a confirmation email. You log in with the email account you signed up with to access the link. Click the link in your confirmation email from Facebook, and then follow the instructions to find friends, fill out profile information, choose interests, and add a profile picture. So this would be the sign up page. Yes. So then we also have a Facebook page. Now this is where things start to get a little bit tricky. Think of a Facebook page as a timeline for organizations, businesses, brands, and public figures. Similar to profiles, page owners can post stories, add a cover photo, host events, and more. Those who have liked a page will see the page's updates in their news feeds. So I'm going to flip through my various screens just so that we can have a look at different pages that are out there. On our screen right now, we have the Sex Workers Education and Advocacy Task Force. They have 4,182 people that like them. They regularly make posts and share other organizations doing work similar to them. They share events. They upload pictures. In the About section, they give a brief description about them, and very importantly, they share their URL, their organization web address. They post videos, which is also very important and useful. And unfortunately, you will always have spammers. So, okay, well, I took you through that. So, anyone can create a Facebook page, right? But only official representatives can create and manage a page for an organization, business, brand, or public figure. To create a page, all you will need is a Facebook profile. So you as an individual will have to first create a profile, and then you will be able to create a profile, a Facebook page. I just want to bring you to this page. Once you have filled it in, once you've completed the sign up page, you will, at the bottom there, you will come back to this page and click on create a page for celebrity, band, or business. Alternatively, you can also go onto your home page of your Facebook, and in your left navigation bar, you have create page. So from here, you will be able to create a page as a local business, company, organization or institution, a brand or product, an artist, band or public figure, or entertainment or cause or community, whichever best suits you as an organization. So if you're looking to promote your your company or raise brand awareness, you'll you'll want to create a Facebook page. You can share promotions, offer specials, make announcements, and essentially build a central fan base. And we don't want to think of our organization as a space for building a fan base, but it is about getting more people to understand the nature of our work, getting more people to advocate for us and speak on and to share our messages as well. So again, it's free to create, and once it is set up, the page is optimized. For Android and for your iPhones and so on, for the various devices that we have, computers, cell phones, tablets, etc. Pages come with a set of features and that profiles and groups don't have. For example, the ability to manage notifications, messages, and scheduled posts on the activity tab. Okay. Similar to profiles, page administrators can view an activity log to see published posts and comments. So I'm not going to go into too much depth around these points, as we will be going into more detail in the coming slides. So here we have a Facebook group. Today, more than 500 million people use Facebook groups monthly, and thousands of groups are created daily. Like discussion forums, groups allow specific sets of people to share photos, links, updates, and so much more. So here on this Media Development and Diversity group, they have 12,387 members. They can actually send out a message to all of those people. They can create a message that can go out to all of those people. It's a good space for anyone to post about a personal question and relating to the work, especially because this is around media development and diversity. So here, for example, the student has made a post about asking for recommendations as to which way she should take a career or her studies. So it's a good space as a forum, a discussion forum rather. It's a great space for connecting family, peers, teammates, co-workers, or people with a shared interest. Members can ask and answer questions, post about events or job openings, and follow conversations about topics that interest them. Groups have 3 privacy options, so the administrator of the group will be able to create these privacy options. So you can be public, it can be a public group where anyone can join or be added or invited by a member. Closed, anyone can ask to join or be added or invited by a member. And secret, anyone can join, but they have to be added or invited by a member. So to create a Facebook group, all you need to do again is to be logged in as an individual Facebook user. So you, as the Facebook profile, will have to go from your homepage to the group section on your sidebar and click Add Group and create a new group. They also even give you options for doing so on your iPhone and your Android. So as I said earlier, I'm not going to go into too much depth about the Facebook because we have Facebook pages rather, because there is now Facebook Insights. So Facebook Insights gives you a plethora of useful information about your Facebook page. However, the key is to take the data and create something meaningful with it, using the data to track the performance of your page and find emerging patterns is crucial. So firstly, we need to know how to access our Facebook page Insights. Years ago when I worked at Sangonet, we created a Facebook page called ICT4RD. Now, this project has long closed since 2012. However, I'm still an administrator of this page, so it is useful because I'm able to actually show you what insights look like on the back end as a page administrator. So for us as if we are the creators of our Facebook page within our organization, to our home page, and looking at our left panel, you will see the pages for which you are an administrator, or if you are going to be the one to create a page. So here we are going to click on ICT4RD because that is the page we are going to be looking at. So now we would also like to, now you can see what the page looks like. You as the individual, you'll be able, as the page administrator, you will be able to add a cover photo. You will be able to update the profile picture. Important is to always add full about information. Why? Because you want to get people to, you want them to know and have a full description of you as an organization. As this was just a small project of Sangonet, it was not meant to be as detailed as things have progressed with Facebook today. So information is quite bare on this page. However, I will stress that page information is exceptionally important. It is crucial to notifying people and informing people about who you are, where they can find you. So by adding your address, Facebook will generate this little Google map, I guess, for you. Then you can add your photographs and create albums as well. People that have tagged you in photos will be sitting under photos of ICT4RD. And along with a range of applications that you may have added, so you can, by clicking on Manage Tabs, you can add and remove tags. So by simply clicking on More, you will be able to add videos, reviews, likes, etc. And then I want to bring to our attention the create a call to action. So because Facebook is in this business of helping you build brand awareness, you can click on something called create call to action. Now this is for if you are perhaps hosting an event and you'd be selling tickets for your event, you can click on there to get people to go and click on it and take them directly to your website. So in our case, we would select something that would say perhaps something like sign up. And then we would say, let's use our blog platform as our destination link. And we can leave that out and just say next. So in so doing, and then it also gives us further options for our devices. Android, same thing, and create. And now we've just created a call to action button asking people to sign up for our event, which might be hosted on our blog platform. There is an indication of we already liked our page, and then also messages. So people can message you directly. People can contact you as an organization directly through messaging. And if you just click on there, on that panel button over there, you can save this page, which would then appear in the left-hand bar over here. You can write a review. You can view insights, which we'll do next. You can share, and you can also create another page. So let's view insights. So before we continue, I just want to go back to show you that you can view your insights by clicking over there. But at the top, we also have a toolbar up there with different tabs. And this is where we'll be able to view our messages. So people who have messaged us directly, and you can see over there someone messaged us in 2014. Notifications, so anything from likes to people that have shared our pages, this will appear in your notifications, in the notifications tab. Requests, information requests, if somebody sends you a request for your website information, which is also becoming a more common thing on Facebook, and then also your activity. So check-ins, so the reason why check-ins are so important, and I will come to this later on as well, as I mentioned on your page about information, you add your physical address of your organization. And Facebook can generate the map for you, so people are able to check in when they are at your office. This is awesome because why? If somebody checks in at your office, they may be tempted to ask you, so what are you doing at the Oxfam office in Durban? What are you doing there? Or of course you may have perhaps added information as to what you will be doing there. Whatever the case may be, check-ins are great because it lets people know where you are and it gives them a little bit more information as to where they can find you. Mentions, so again, this idea of mentioning, in a status update, I can create a status update and mention Oxfam Durban office in my status update by using the @ symbol at the beginning, and Facebook will auto-generate Oxfam office Durban, for example. And shares, so how many people have reshared your status update. So under this activity list over here, you are able to share with people, or you are able to see rather what kind of activity people are having on your page and what kind of activity they are having. Then we move over to insights. So insights are a great way to measure the performance of your page. It is important to do this because this main insights dashboard allows you to see the total number of likes and whether this is increasing or decreasing, the number of friends available, This is the potential number of people you can reach, and we'll come to reach as well, because all of these terms are so new, and every day a new term is just being used and being thrown at us. So it's understanding why certain things are important, because they, this ripple effect, everything affects the other. So it also helps you understand how many people are actively talking about your page, as well as your total weekly reach. So here we have an overview. Again, this page has not been used for 3 years. However, it's nice to see, to actually be able to view a graph. So the page has a total of 286 likes. The page was most active in the July in 2011. Gosh, sorry. So it actually shows you. This is known as the whale tail, by the way. This helps you to see the increase of likes on your page day by day. So these are important because it helps you to understand. I made a status update on the 14th of July. My likes went up, so maybe I should be creating more content like the same as what I posted on the 14th of July. And the same thing on the 16th, the 17th. Oh, the 17th, I actually had another like. I must have done something right on that day. And by the 19th, I lost someone. So we want to be able to understand, by looking at these graphs, we want to understand why it's important to know and understand what kind of content we are pushing out there on a specific day, because it helps us to see how many people are liking our page based on the content that we have posted. So here is another way of looking at your likes. On the 28th of June, I received 2 likes. Bear in mind this page is not active, so I'm not sure why people are liking the page, but anyway. And then you can actually see when somebody unliked the page. So it's another interesting thing to actually be able to see how I lost a like. The page remained stagnant, and look, July 9th, it went up to 3 likes, another like, and by the 20th of July, I lost the like. Now, this is another graph that is important because it helps you to see where your likes have happened. So this was based on page suggestions. So somebody actually said, hey, if you have an interest in information communication technologies for research and development, the Sangonet is doing great work around this topic, so go look for that page on Facebook. So this was based on referral. So if you just hover over it, somebody came directly to the page. They may have stumbled on the page by Google, and they came via Google, and they decided, I'm going to like this page anyway. Somebody liked the page based on the post made on the page. So this is another important graph because it helps you to better understand the likes and why people are liking your content, or liking your page rather. So then you can move over to reach. It's all very good and well that you have a Facebook page, but how much of your content is actually reaching your people, reaching your fan base, if we must? So who is talking about your page? Are any of your constituencies referring to your page to others or sharing your images with their friends? So this section helps you to see your page, views and unique visitor views. So it's those who have searched for you as opposed to clicking on the Facebook ad. You'll also be able to see your reach in terms of organic searches, paid and viral searches. So let me just stop and look into this. Let's just focus on these terms: organic, paid and viral. So organic page is when somebody literally just they found your page because you created good content and they managed to find you naturally. It was a natural thing. Organic is natural. Then you have a paid for. So people these days are really investing dollars into their Facebook strategies. So you can actually increase or your marketing or your digital campaigning efforts by paying for your content reaching a wider audience. So if you are paying for it, it's going to just simply appear on many other pages, on people's news feeds, on their timelines, where, quite frankly, whether they like it or not, they are going to see it. So in this case, this person, on this page in particular, everything was done organically, so through natural processes. So they searched for it, or they stumbled upon it via Google, or because of good content that was posted. And then, of course, viral searches. Sorry, I left out that last term. So I create my status update on my Facebook page. It is so. Wendell thinks it's awesome, so Wendell shares it. Nicholas thinks it's awesome, he shares it. Pumla thinks it's awesome, so she shares it, and so does Inga. And so this whole status update goes viral, and so in so doing, all of these networks of people, it's being reached through these networks of people, and they decide to like the page, and this is how you increase your reach and your following. Also likes, comments, and shares, so people are able to your likes your reach will increase based on your likes, the comments, and the shares, as I mentioned, the organic content, the viral content. And then your total reach, you are able to see, there's another graph of how your activity on your page, including your posts to your page by other people, mentions, and check-ins. And then we look at, so the important part of reach, the reach area, is that you will be able to see what channels, so organic searches, paid, and viral searches, as which of those are the most effective. Most likely you'll want to increase the viral segment as much as possible. So you'd literally, again, speak to influencers and say to them, I have this great event happening, please share my post, and they would then share it, and they would share it, and they would share it, and in so doing it goes viral. So visits. On this tab, you are able to see how many people are actually coming to your page and where are your referrers. So Google played a huge role in this. I spoke about the URL, so this being our URL. So in many cases, many times you'll find that people, their organization name or their business name may have been taken by other Facebook users with a similar name already. So it's important that you select something that is still that still reflects your organization, that is still short and punchy, that is basically this, so that if I search for that, I'm going to be able to pick that up in my URL. All of these things tie into what we call search engine optimization, where Google is able to index your Facebook, your content, your website, your Facebook, all of those things that are related to your organization and content that you have created with specific keywords. And I know this is going a little bit deeper, but all of these things tie into what Google sees about your organization. And if somebody types in something that is relating to your organization, you want to make sure that your organization name is top of list, right at the top of Google search listing. So again, when you're selecting your username, make sure that what is there is a true reflection of your organization, so that Google will say, oh, this is the type of work they do. That keyword that has been entered by whoever is doing a search, Facebook is going to, one of the listings will be a Facebook page listing. So then we also have something called talking about this. Or rather, excuse me, let's first look at the posts. So when are your fans online? And we spoke a little bit about this earlier on in the session, where it stated that 6 a.m. in the morning, or your 25 to 34-year-olds are waking up and they are checking their Facebook first thing in the morning. So this graph actually tells you when exactly your people are online. So yes, while research may show one thing, your Facebook Insights will tell you the exact and the true reflection of your users. So in this regard, you can see 87 users are mostly checking their Facebook at noon. 2 p.m. 93, 3 p.m. 98. So clearly, based on this, most of the users are checking their Facebook at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. This is good, good information that is useful for you. Videos. So why videos are a good way to keep, are good for your page, is because it keeps users on your page for a little bit longer. So again, coming back to this thing about Google, so Google sees, so this page is quite active. Facebook, for that matter, not even just Google. Facebook sees, oh wow, people are most active on the page because on this page, they seem to be spending a lot of time on this page. Posting videos is a good and a strategic way of keeping people on your page, looking at your content. It might be sneaky, but it's a good way. People. So here again, it gives you a true reflection of who your fans are. So 24% are women, 75% are men. Again, the data said that it was 53% women are Facebook users and 40% are male. On your page, it's a different reflection. So you need to look at your Facebook Insights to get a true reflection of who your users, your constituents, your stakeholders are. You are even able to drill down into as deep as which city they are from, which language they are speaking. So 23 of the fans on this particular page are French speakers. 48 of the fans are from the Philippines, which is quite interesting because this was an African, this project was specific to Africans, African farm workers. So this is a good way to see, maybe I need to do a little bit of homework around the farm lifestyle or the farming world in the Philippines. The same, okay, yeah, it's the second level is South Africa, third India, etc. We also think in terms of who are our donor organizations, and if we think in terms of funders, we know that a lot of funder organizations are in the Netherlands. So perhaps they are looking at potential organizations that they want to fund. So we need to look at these insights strategically because it helps us to better understand our fan base, our constituents, our stakeholders, etc. So it's the important thing to learn from this data is to understand how your content trends over time. You may find that it takes some time for your content to lift and to reach many people. This can be very helpful when planning your strategies and other time-sensitive initiatives. So your campaigns, you can use this to plan your campaigns and when you will push content out to your audiences. And back to our slideshow. So all of the things that I spoke about in our insights are also on the slideshow presentation. So a quick way to increase your Facebook likes. Optimize your content, your Facebook information. As I stressed earlier, write your about, fill in and complete your about information on your Facebook page. Post a good picture. Fill in the address of your organization. Make sure you fill out as much of this information. Select the categories and subcategories that best describe your organization. Include your website address. List your address, phone number, and hours of operation if it's applicable. All of this information will help your page appear in Facebook and Google search when people are looking for companies, for organizations like yours, which can increase your Facebook likes even more. Choose a great username. I already spoke about this, about your URL, about what appears in the URL. There are already a lot of Facebook pages, so your first choice might not be available, as mentioned. So it's critical to create the Facebook page and get you your username as soon as possible. Get your username now, so you will have it when you need it. Post engaging content. It's important to post entertaining, maybe not entertaining necessarily, but engaging and interesting content on your Facebook page. Facebook constantly updates its algorithms and rewards posts that receive engagement. So Facebook really does this. It's quite freaky, it's quite scary, but if Facebook sees that your page generates a lot of interest, a lot people are talking, it reaches a very wide number of people, Facebook is more likely to put your Facebook page in the right navigation bar over here. Let me just show you this, just so you understand exactly what I'm speaking about. So there's a likelihood that your ad may appear over here if Facebook sees that you are generating enough conversation. Videos are also, again, as mentioned, a good way to capture attention and drive engagement. But make sure the videos are a good length to grab your followers' attention and keep it long enough to digest the content. Be active. People are unlikely to like your Facebook page if you don't post regularly. So if you're just making one post a day, you're not going to keep their attention. Also respond. Do not just leave it there. There's no magic number about what's the best practice for how many Facebook posts you make, but you will be able to gauge by how much responses that you get, I guess. Excuse me. Promote your Facebook page everywhere. Post it on your blog, post it on your website, post it everywhere. I'm just going to show you as an example. On our webinar series, at the bottom, share this. So you're able to share your blog on directly to your Facebook page. On your website, it needs to be clear that you are active on Facebook. Just make sure that you are promoting your page everywhere. Then invite your existing community. This is as simple as sending an invite to everyone on your contact list, on your current Facebook contact list. You can also do this by sending out an email to your email database within your organization. You can ask, again, key influencers to share your page and ask them to invite their followers and their followings. Then use your Facebook social plugins. Again, these are your Facebook social plugins. So if you create a piece of content on your website, click on your Facebook icon to share the piece of information on Facebook. And then if you have the money, pay to play with your Facebook ads. You can actually, again, here's the other example. You create an ad and they call it sponsored. You can create an ad and invest some money into creating an ad that is definitely going to appear on all of your Facebook followers pages. They do this in dollars, so you will most likely need a credit card. So you can boost your posts as well, and you can and by this we mean you can get your content in front of the right people at the right time. Target these by interests or upload your own contact list to show content to known targeted audiences. Right? You can promote your page. You can send people to your website. So these are all part of the objective of your campaign. Increase conversions on your website. So this again speaks to if you are in the business of sales, so you're selling a certain product from your website, you can drive your traffic to your audience from your Facebook, and in so doing you increase your conversion rates. Increase engagement in your app, etc., etc. Raise attendance to your event. All of these things through advertising on Facebook. And then run a contest. I mentioned earlier that you could do a selfie promotion and the best selfie wins. Whatever the case may be, there are many organizations doing so. Again, let me just use direct. Here we have Making All Voices Count, a very good page, and they've got over 10,000 people that like their page. They are using their platform, their Facebook page, to run a competition where you can win up to 40,000 euros to support your initiative approach to nurturing citizen government relations. So just clicking there, it will take you to their page. They've had 2 shares and 14 people like their page. Further down on the page, I do remember they had another competition as well. So competitions are quite a big thing, a good way. Here we have, yes, here we go. Tech for Resilience competition, and they just announcing the 12 finalists. And what they've done on their page, I would like to show you for the sign up. If you click on that sign up, it takes you directly to their page where you can view their website and sign up for their mailing list, etc. So this is also a nice example of how they've integrated Facebook, their website strategy, into their Facebook and vice versa. And then use social media monitoring to measure, analyze, and learn. So we've gone through the Facebook Insights, and you've seen what it can do for you, for your social media, for your Facebook strategy. You've seen how that you can measure your content and its reach and how many likes and shares, etc. So use these platforms to learn from it, analyze the data and learn from it. These metrics will help you understand what's driving your likes and engagement so that you can adjust your posts accordingly. Then, keys to success on your Facebook strategy. It's about creating relationships with other Facebook members interested in similar causes or issues. So you want to build a relationship. Again, I stress it's not about you pushing content, but about engaging and encouraging conversation. So encourage constituents to post comments, submit photos and videos, to share their content with you, and then you can also then share it with your following. So participate. So do frequent updates. Encourage your organization employees to have online conversations around your organization's work. So while their Facebook might be a personal space, and it might be stipulated on their Facebook profile that whatever they are posting is done in the individual capacity, you can actually ask them to also share your events, share the status update if of course it would be a open conversation with you within the organization. And that leads into the next comment. Establish an editorial policy within your organization as to who is responsible for what on your Facebook. So who will be the person that is responsible for maintaining the Facebook profile? Who will be the one that will create the Facebook page? Who will be the person within the organization that is responding to comments? If an intern is doing it, are they in a position to respond to a donor perhaps posting on your Facebook? So these are the kind of conversations that you as an organization need to have when you are determining your Facebook strategy. Then monitor and keep in touch. I stress again about you monitoring, measuring, analyzing, and learning from your metrics. Remember, it's about relationship first, organization promotion second. So you want to build this relationship with your constituents, and you want to promote your organization second. So they will eventually, once your digital campaign is up and running and everything, and you've paid for your Facebook ads, trust me, your Facebook ads are going to be all over in everyone's faces. So thank you. That is the end of our presentation. So if anyone has any questions, please do add it. Please do share with us.
Oh, thanks, Nicole. That was really interesting. There were some questions. I'll bring up my screen so that people can see. Whoops. So there were some questions. We had one question in terms of your stats, Nicole, and would
Okay.
these be looking at a South African context, or are they more worldwide statistics that are more general?
They're worldwide statistics which are more general. So it speaks to, as I mentioned, as the statistics show, that it's over 1 billion people on Facebook. So these are worldwide statistics.
Oh, perfect. And I see that Nick's back online, Shame. They were struggling with connectivity in Durban. So I see back online. Sorry, Nicole. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and to answer Michael, by barriers to entry are low, what we mean is that you are able to create your account and start interacting immediately. You are 100% correct in saying that it is still expensive and that you still need enough airtime to log on to Facebook, but that is the same with any other social media platform. However, engaging and just starting a conversation with people, that is what we mean by the barriers are low. So you don't have to you don't need to pay a sign-up fee to be able to start interacting with people. Yes, you do need to be able, you need to afford your airtime. Unfortunately, that is something we all have to go through, is to have enough data on our phones or on our laptops or whatever the case may be. So it's simply about being able to register and start and sign up for Facebook and be able to create a Facebook profile and create a Facebook page and to already start growing your audience. Those are the that is by barriers, those are the things that we mean that are low. There's no, unfortunately, we cannot all assist on the expense side of things. I hope that answers you. And then Mandy. My advice, Mandy, yes, that's always a tricky one, is getting people to actually comment and to and they would end up just liking something. That is unfortunately how people are these days. And I'll use a personal experience that happened to me just this past weekend. I managed the social media campaign for the Coffee and Chocolate Expo that happened here in Johannesburg. And we were constantly, every day, again, using the same process of 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m., 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, making posts at all times that we thought, or as measured by our insights, asking people, we posting comments and we posting status updates at times based on our research, on our insight research, where people are most active, and we found that people would just simply comment or they would just simply like, and we had the same problem. So what we found to be of more importance ultimately was not that they were commenting or just liking, but what the reach of the content was. I hope I'll be able to show this to you on the ICT page. So you are able to view the reach of a piece of content. So even if people are not liking or commenting, the fact that it has reached a certain number of people is sometimes much more important than the actual the like or the comment. What we also done was we actually asked people, friends of ours, friends like colleagues and so on, to actually go and comment so that people could, so of course they people on the outside don't know that the person you've approached is within the organization or a personal friend. We would ask personal friends to go and comment. So that was one way, and that would then generate some interest. But it's not the most effective way. So unfortunately, Mandy, sometimes it's a type of thing that we have to just accept that the reach of the content is more important than who is commenting and who is liking. Unfortunately, what I'd like to show you is not visible. But I just want to go to the reach, and hopefully that would. Sorry, my screen's just lost me now.
Nicole, I've made you presenter, so if you...
Hello? Hi, Nick.
Nicole, you should have be able to accept the presenter status. Do you want to give that a try?
I'm not seeing that.
Okay, well, let's change it back to you just in case.
My screen is gray. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And maybe just chat us through what you were hoping to show while we try and sort it out. Ah, there we go.
Okay.
It's come up. There we go.
Okay. So, yes, one of the things I was saying is that organic, paid, and viral reach is sometimes more important than people liking, commenting, and sharing our posts. Not more important, but they, I guess, they do go hand in hand. So while you're not able to always get people to just go and comment and like a post, the fact that it has reached them, and based on this insights, and you being able to view this graph, will give you an indication that yes, that people have seen it. The amount of people that have seen it organically or paid for, or based on the viral, the response is basically that your reach is more effective than people actually commenting, because sometimes people are just people. They do not feel necessarily that their opinion may matter, or that it sounds intellectual enough, or that it matters. So forcing people to comment, unfortunately, we're not able to work around that. But you are able to measure that how many people have seen this comment or seen a post based on the number of people that it has reached.
So Nicole, just in terms of that, at the top of that screen that you were showing us, it said the number of people that your post was served to. So what does that mean? Is that different to it just showing up on somebody's timeline?
So exactly that, the fact that it was on somebody's timeline, that you took a few seconds to hover over it, and it was on your screen for a few seconds, it means that it has reached a certain number of people. So on this one, okay, it's one person. I don't like this one because it doesn't help in the numbers, but it's exactly that. It appeared on people's timelines. It was on their screens it's exactly like with Google, where if you accidentally click on a web page, you were searching for ICT, and you clicked on the link right at the top, but it's not what you were looking for, so you leave the page immediately. So in this case, so that is your bounce rate, what we call the bounce rate. So in this case, the fact that your reach is 2, that means that 2 people took the time to sit and look at this content, process it, and then they moved off. So your reach does make a difference, even though, so the fact your content has made a difference even if people have not made a comment or liked it, but it has come on their timeline, they have seen it, and fortunately for you, maybe somebody has shared it.
Thanks. Back to you, Nick. And Nicole, I was just thinking about one of the questions that came up for me in terms of what makes a good post. So what links, what type of introduction, what is it good to have pictures, what makes a good post that somebody would read?
I'm sorry, Wendell, please repeat that.
I was thinking about what's a good practice in terms of a post. So the length, or how to introduce it, or what makes a good post?
I think this is something as an organization you would have to have a editorial policy. It's not the same for every organization. Let me just show you my introduction post. So I would rate this as a good length.
Hold on a sec, it's still coming through.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go. So it's quite substantial. It's not just a one-liner or 2 lines with a link. It actually says something.
Yeah. So again, it's all dependent on you as an organization. You don't want to write an essay because people are going to get bored reading your post. That is the same with that. So you would also then apply the principles of writing for the web. You would want to put your who, why, how, what, where, when, all in one sentence or in 2 lines, and then add a blog. So what you want to do, and this is my own personal recommendation, is that you would answer that 5 W's and H, and you would have a call to action within your post. So you would direct people to your website. You would say, read this, or you would add a link saying, read this interesting article on that I read on that is relating to the work that we do, but it's posted on another news website, for example. Or you want to share a video that you thought is also of interest to your audience. So it really is dependent on you as an organization, because if you think about, if you're going to write endless amounts of copy as a Facebook status update and you're making a post 4 times a day, you're going to lose your audience because they'll be thinking, oh, another post from Oxfam South Africa, another lengthy post. So it's being strategic, and it's something that you would work in as part of your editorial policy.
Okay, that makes sense. We have another. Sorry.
No, I see Naledi's question.
Yes.
About asking things that are on the funny side, on the lighter side. I do think that posting funnies and jokes are interesting, are a good way to grab attention. But I think it needs to obviously tie into your organization's work, or tie into what you do, or something that you as your network would understand. You can even think about language. You can think about things that are in the vernacular that is South Africans across the country know, across the world would know. I'll use an example. When I worked at ABSA, there was the soccer, the Bafana was playing, and ABSA was doing a whole campaign around the supporting Bafana, etc. So I wrote a post for our social media team, and I started the post with Laduma, but exactly as you have up on the screen. Good afternoon. I posted Laduma, the way you would think it, the way you would say it rather. So yes, and people reacted to that. People responded to that. They enjoyed reading something that is closer to home, that they can relate to. So I definitely would encourage it, but obviously also do it professionally, do it in line with it comes back to editorial policy. Within your organization, you will discuss what is good jokes, what is bad jokes. You also don't want to use profanity. You don't want, because that obviously is going to chase people away, or it's going to give them a bad impression of your organization. So again, it just ties in with your editorial policy.
That makes sense. Any other questions out there? It is quite a difficult balance to get in terms of personal and as you say, the lighter side of things. What's appropriate for your organization and your messaging.
Yeah. But yes, again, it's something that you as an organization, as a team, you can all come together and you can make it a policy and so a documented policy as to what works and what is allowed and what's not allowed.
And then you were talking about an editorial policy. So would that also include sign-offs? So who signs off on what type of content and when?
Exactly. I'm just going to pull up on screen as a good example. my social media campaign for while I worked on the Coffee and Chocolate Expo. In all my experience, this has also been very much the way a social media strategy would look. I'm not saying that every organization would do it like this, but in my background, this is how it has appeared. And this is so I would create the content and it would be signed off. I would create it a few days before. It would be signed off by my manager in this case, and the next day content would be scheduled.
So you generally would recommend scheduling content over the week, say for instance, or over different times of the day, so then you get it at the right times for your audience.
Correct. Okay. That's correct. In fact, why is it not? There we go. Now it's the smallest too. But yes, it would be in an Excel spreadsheet, and every day I would have to create content based on what would go up on the 3rd of July. Where is my to increase the size? Okay, but anyway, so Facebook over there, the content was over there's a box, there's a column for Facebook, there's a column for Twitter, there's a column for Instagram. There's a check, this is a check mark that must be, that it has to go on all of those social media platforms. And so every day this was signed off between myself and my manager. So it's a good way of making sure of this editorial policy. What is created, what is going out at what time, what particular time, and making sure that everybody is on the same page. So we'd actually mark this off to say and highlight it as green, for example, just to make sure, okay, not that, as we'd fill the entire row to say that content has already gone out. We spoke about scheduling content, and I actually would like to do that before we close off, because it's not, I hadn't actually showed you this. So on your page, you would create a piece of content. Here you have next to the publish button, you have a drop down arrow. You click on the schedule button. You can actually select which date you want it to go out. And let's say at 3:40, I would like my post to go out, and simply schedule. Then I can, so as you can see, my scheduled post is for 3:40. Then if I go to the top, not that, sorry, not that one. My settings, sorry. So my publishing tools over there. If I click on scheduled posts, you can see over there, I have one scheduled post waiting. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. This actually gives you a preview of how it would appear on people's laptops as well as on their mobiles. So yeah, and you can still edit it and then boost it so that it will reach more people, and this goes into this budgeting and the paying for, etc., etc., etc. The parts where we want to stay away from. Yeah. But again, if we're generating good content, we won't have to do this. And just a reminder that later on in the series, we are going to be looking specifically at writing for the web. So we'll look at how we can write status updates and tweets that will attract a little bit more attention.
Thanks, Nicole. That's really helpful. Okay, well, I think I don't think there's any more questions that have come through, and we're also just about on time. So just a reminder about some of the upcoming webinars. Let me just change the screen. So our next webinar is our introduction to Twitter. And that's next Thursday, same time at 2 o'clock until 3:30. So go on and register, and as you're probably getting quite used to the registration process, it sends you a reminder the day before as well as an hour before the webinar starts, and then you can just join on. You can also add it, I don't know if you've seen the feature, add it to your Outlook calendar, so that's quite helpful as well to put your reminders into your calendar if you're wanting to join in a few weeks' time and just wanting it to come up in your calendar as a reminder. So just to go through the webinar series that we have, so it's the 10-part webinar series, and we've gone through the first 2 webinars. So the first one that we started last week, Wednesday, is up on the blog, and you can go and view it, as well as this one will go up maybe later today or tomorrow morning. And then we will also post some of the slides that Nicole's prepared for both of the webinars, so you can also download those and maybe go through it in your own time. It was quite interesting, Nicole. I was going through our Oxfam and South Africa Facebook page as you were talking and learning a few things behind the scenes as well.
I'm glad.
That's quite helpful if you do manage your Facebook page and you do want to try out a few of the things that Nicole was talking about, to look at your own Facebook page and to go through some of the tabs and the clicks that we looked at, just to kind of deepen your knowledge and to remember how we do them. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what we are doing in our introduction to Twitter next week, Nicole?
Yes, so next week we'll be looking a little bit at our hashtags, our @sign, and all that funny lingo, the trending, how to set it so that you set your location so that you're able to see what is happening in a, if you're based in Johannesburg, if you're based in Durban, if you're based in Cape Town, wherever you are, you can actually see what is trending in a specific area at any given moment, how you can increase your following, how you can follow hashtags, how you can claim hashtags. Yes, all of these kind of things are going to be looked at next week.
Claim hashtags, that sounds interesting. So just a reminder that this is the blog, and you can see the post from the last week's webinar on digital campaigning, and the video is there, and then we will also attach the slides. So you can either download it or watch it online and share it with your colleagues or other people you think might benefit from going through some of the content, and then also the slides to be able to go through in your own time.
Awesome.
So yes, so thank you, Nicole, and thanks to everyone for joining. I see we also had a good list of participants, so thanks so much for being part of it, and I think it's been really valuable for me to go through some of my own Facebook behavior, and so and as Inga said, my stalking behavior, so yes, I'm sure we'll all go out there and stalk each other for a few moments. But thanks, Nicole, and thanks, Nick, for all your help, and thanks, Inga, for doing the welcome, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and see you next week, Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.